Hello everyone, my name is Brett Murphy and I will be your host for Rec Hub Sports News. In this video I'll be breaking down everything you need to know from the week of May 18th in the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League. And before we get started, yes, I am a Leafs fan. No, I'm not surprised we lost another Game 7. Yes, I am well aware that Mitch Marner will not be a Leaf come next year, and next year will be our year. Mark my words. First, let's look at some notable games that took place on Sunday the 18th and Tuesday the 20th. If you're interested in checking out Tuesday's games yourself, Rogers TV was on location at Center 200 to film, and those games, scoreboard and all, are now available on the Rec Hub Society YouTube channel. On Sunday the 18th, the Black Rock Bulls continued their meteoric rise up the rankings, with two dominant wins, taking down the Sunnyvale Superstars by a score of 12-4 and the Velmac Velociraptors by a score of 9-5. The Floor Hogs have also continued to cement themselves as the clear runner-ups in the league, with two wins on Sunday, taking down the Northside Chiefs and the Royal Huskies. But arguably the biggest surprise from Sunday's games are the Purple Cobras, who not only brought the third-place Raiders to a 6-6 tie, but managed to bring the first-place unbeaten Rusty Pigeons to their very first tie, and spoiler alert, still their only tie. Moving on to the games that took place on Tuesday the 20th at Center 200, which, once again, you can watch on the Rec Hub Society YouTube channel. In a huge, highly anticipated rematch, the first-place Rusty Pigeons faced off against the second-place Floor Hogs, where the Pigeons managed to squeak out a close 7-5 win, before moving on to take down the Black Rock Bulls in their second game of the evening. The Sunnyvale Superstars were shut out by the Northside Chiefs before heading to a hotly contested tie with the Sailors, that concluded with some lingering controversy. The Raiders picked up two quick wins over the Northside Chiefs and the Cape Breton Seagulls, thanks in part to some shutdown goaltending, with their Tendy only allowing 2 goals in 2 games. The Royal Huskies were also able to bounce back with 2 solid wins after 2 losses on Sunday, and the Purple Cobras went 1-1, falling short against the second-place Floor Hogs before taking down the Velmac Velociraptors in the last game of the evening. Now let's switch over to the current standings before we head into the top point getters in this upcoming week's games. Sitting comfortably in first place by 6 points and without a single loss on their record is the Rusty Pigeons, though not far behind are the Floor Hogs with 33 points and the Raiders with 27 points. After those three though is where things get interesting, as 5 teams are within 4 points of one another. The Black Rock Bulls have moved up into the 4th place spot with 22 points, followed by a 2-way tie between the Sailors and the Northside Chiefs with 21 points. Just behind them are the Purple Cobras with 20 points, and following them is the Sunnyvale Superstars with 18. We round out the standings with the Royal Huskies in 9th place, the Cape Breton Seagulls in 10th, and the Velmac Velociraptors in last. This is also a good time to note that the Rec Hub Floor Hockey League is always welcoming new teams to join the fold. Simply reach out on Facebook with your roster and team name and let those who run the league handle the rest from there. Okay, let's dive into some of the stats before we close things out. Josh McCaskill of the Rusty Pigeons continues to run away with things as the clean and clear #1 point getter, finishing this week with a staggering 118 points. Trailing him by 18 points, and the only other player in the league as of right now to hit that triple-digit mark is Sam Gillis of the Floor Hogs. Not too far behind him is Ben Gillis with 84 points and Jordan Moss with 83. Outside of the 5th place Stevie Clark of the Northside Chiefs with 75 points, the rest of the top 10 point leaders are dominated by players from either the Rusty Pigeons or the Floor Hogs, which should come as no surprise to anyone who has had to face these two teams. The race for the top goal scorer is where things become a little more interesting. The Rusty Pigeons have 2 stars battling it out for the top spot, as Josh McCaskill and Jordan Moss are currently tied with 52 goals apiece. Just trailing them is the Floor Hogs' Sam Gillis with 47 goals. After that though, still mostly dominated by the Pigeons and Hogs, we get a bit more variety. Stevie Clark shows his goal-scoring prowess in 4th place with 41, with appearances also being made by Scott McGinnis of the Blackrock Bulls, who has 32, and the Velmac Velociraptors sneak into 10th place with Colin Kelly having 29 goals. When it comes to the assist leaders, it should shock no one to discover that Josh McCaskill is also ranked as number 1 with an insane 65 assists. He's followed once again by Sam Gillis with 53 and Ben Gillis with 47. Stevie Clark makes another 4th place appearance here with 35 assists, and Jordan Moss of the Rusty Pigeons rounds out the top 5 with 31 assists. The back half of the top 10 is rounded out with more members from the Pigeons and Hogs, with appearances from Ethan Stanwyck of the Purple Cobras and Cole Pygel of the Blackrock Bulls. Here's a quick look at the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League goaltending stats. If you'd like to comb through these in more depth or see the stats of every other player, you can visit the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League's Facebook page. Alright, let's close things out by taking a look at some of the matchups ahead of us for the week of May 25th. We're starting off hot with some potentially standing-altering matchups. On Sunday the 25th at the Americenter, the 4th place Blackrock Bulls will be taking on the 6th place Northside Chiefs, with only 1 point separating those two teams. They'll follow that up by playing the 3rd place Raiders. Speaking of the Raiders, they'll go head-to-head with the 5th place Sailors before their matchup with the Bulls. The Sailors will follow their game with the Raiders by taking on the Northside Chiefs, the team they're currently tied in 5th place with, as they have 25 points each. The Royal Huskies will have 2 tough games on Sunday as they play the streaking Purple Cobras and the number 1 seed Rusty Pigeons, while the Purple Cobras get another shot at the 2nd place Floor Hogs. Rogers TV will be on site at Center 200 on Tuesday, May 27th once again to record the games, where there'll certainly be some fireworks. We kick things off with the Rusty Pigeons taking on the Sailors, a team they've beaten twice now by a combined score of 38-3. The 4th place Blackrock Bulls will take on the 2nd place Floor Hogs before the Floor Hogs have to defend their 2nd place position against the 3rd place Raiders. The Purple Cobras will try breaking their way into the top 5, possibly even the top 4 on Tuesday, when they face off against the 4th place Bulls and the tied for 5th place Northside Chiefs. The Royal Huskies will have their work cut out for them again as they face off against the 3rd place Raiders before taking on the team just ahead of them in the standings in the Sunnyvale Superstars. And that wraps us up for this week's Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League recap. Don't forget to follow the Rec Hub Society on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel, where recorded games will be uploaded and recaps just like this one can be seen.